My friend the other day said to me that he was trying to open an account, a Demat account with some broker, and he said it's such a lengthy and a tiring and a boring process. He said, I'm not even understanding what I'm doing. I said, what's the problem? Like, it can be done in like less than 2 minutes. He said, Rachana, are you trying to compare opening a Demat account with cooking Maggie or what? Like, will be done in 2 minutes? I said, interesting comparison. I personally feel that opening an account can be done quicker than preparing Maggie. What do you feel? Bet? Hi guys, Rachana Ranade here, and I welcome you all to a unique competition, Maggie versus Demat account opening. Right, but the moment I said this, I'm sure everyone might be starting to do their own calculations as to A will be done first or B will be done first. But did any one of you try to visualize that maybe you will get to learn something new? Sounds familiar to the Three Idiots dialogue, no? Yes, I intended to say that. So I am not going to just tell you how to open an account with a broker, but because I saw many videos which said, click this, you need this, and then go to next, and then press this, and put in your email ID and OTP and what. Yeah, I know. I mean, that is step by step how to open an account. But I feel that there is something to learn in each and everything we do in our lives. So let's try to understand that on what rationale, on what basis is the entire account opening process set up. First of all, let's understand if you were to open a Demat account in a physical format, what you would have done. Number one, you would have received a physical form. Then what would you be doing? You would be filling up the basic details like name, maybe like your mobile number, your Aadhaar number, your mother's name, all the basic details you would be filling up, right? That would be step number one, filling up the basic details. Step number two, then what would you be doing? You would have attached the photocopies, we call it as Xerox copies sometimes, photocopies of what? PAN, Aadhaar, all these basic details, right? Which are like the name proof, address proof. Maybe you would have attached a blank check, which is of course a cross check. Maybe a bank statement you would have attached. So we would have taken photocopies of these and then we would have attached them as a name proof or an address proof, right? So that would have been the step number two. Step number three, I feel that after filling up the form, I would have signed the form. So after signing, what would have been the last thing is I would have affixed my photograph on the form. If you know, what used to happen earlier was that there is something known as an IPV. IPV is an in-person verification. After filling up the entire form, a person from the broker's office used to come to visit in person to see that you yourself are the person who is submitting the accounts, just to ensure the authenticity of the account opening. It should not happen that my documents have illegally gone to someone else. I mean, someone is possessing my accounts without my knowledge, and he or she is trying to open an account without my knowledge. So to avoid such a situation, IPV, in-person verification, used to be done in this way, that after filling up the form, number one, after attaching the requisite documents, number two, after signing it, after affixing my photograph, the broker's person used to visit me. He used to collect the form and he used to do an in-person verification. He used to ask me that, is this where you stay? Are these your documents? Are you aware that you're opening this account? And all that, right? Now, this used to be a pretty lengthy process. Of course, it is done even today. But could there be a better substitute? Yes, and that is what we talk about in e-account opening process. Now, what happens in an e-account opening process? Let's compare one by one. Number one, you would have filled your basic details as step number one while filling up the physical format. Now here, what you're going to do, you're going to type out your basic details like your name, your Aadhaar number, your mail ID, your mother's name, all these details now will type out. Step number one completed. Step number two, where you used to attach or staple your Aadhaar ka Xerox, PAN Xerox and all that, photocopies I mean, instead of stapling those photocopies to your main form, what we are going to do now, we are going to attach the PDFs of all these documents, attach PDFs of Aadhaar, your PAN and your bank statement, all that, right? After that is done, we used to sign the form physically. Now what we are going to do, we are going to e-sign the form. Okay, for e-signing the form, you might be aware that there is something known as a digital signature. Okay, but not everyone might have their own digital signature, and that is why many brokers have tied up with some other entities who would help them to e-sign. So just as an example, DGO is one of the service providers who provide the service of e-signing the form. Okay, so now what has happened? Understand, you have filled in the details, basic details you have filled in, you have attached the PDFs of all these documents. So step number 2 done. Step number 3, instead of signing, I have done an e-signing. And last point was, broker person used to visit me for an IPV, in-person verification. Now instead of that, what can be done? Instead of that, now it is done. Now the IPV is done by giving an access to your webcam. Okay, we give an access to the webcam, and just to ensure that it's me who is allowing to do it, an OTP will be sent to your registered mobile number or your registered email ID. You have to write down that OTP on a piece of paper, and you have to show it like some prisoners show their batch number, and you have to pose in front of the camera showing that OTP, right? So that is then eIPV, in-person verification. Now that you have understood the process very nicely, now the challenge can be started. We are not going to rush in that whether Maggie first or whether account opening first. That will be done. Okay, but understanding the entire process of account opening, I personally feel, is very important. You might have seen in many cookery shows that a chef generally has a nice preparation of whatever dish he's going to prepare. So similarly, before opening the account, what we are going to do is we are going to have all the preparation ready with us. And what is the preparation? Here you can see that I have a folder ready with me. The folder has 5 documents. One is Aadhaar card PDF, my bank statement. Ensure that the Aadhaar card is not password protected. Okay, so it has to be an unprotected Aadhaar card PDF. Second one is bank statement 6 months. Third one is a cancel check. Fourth one is your PAN card copy. And the last one is signature. Now what is the signature? Signature is nothing but take a blank paper, sign on that, scan it, and keep it ready with you. Okay, these days you can just have n number of apps also which allow you to scan any document with a normal mobile phone as well. Okay, so keep all these documents ready, and then let's start with the account opening process. So now let's quickly get started on how to open an account with Zerodha. I'm here on one of my YouTube videos. Go to the description box, and here you will see the link to open an account. I've clicked on this, and that's where we go to a new page. I just have to enter my mobile number. I should receive an OTP on my mobile now. Okay, so I'm entering the OTP. I have to fill up the full name, followed by the email ID. One more point important, if it's not in your primary, it could be in updates. So here I've got an OTP here. I'm going to put that OTP just to ensure that it's me who's opening the account. So we have filled out the basic details. Okay, yes, the payment is already successful now. So let's move on. We'll have to fill up some additional details, the bank details. Okay, fill up the basic details. Check all these boxes wherein we mention that we are the resident of India and we do understand some basic things, and then click on continue. So here you have to attach a scan of cancel check. Then for income proof, I'm choosing 6 months bank statement. Then signature. And then PAN copy. So the email verification code has to be now pasted. So just in case if your Aadhaar number is not working, mine was not working right now, let's try to use this method. Okay, profile has been successfully verified. Let's hit sign now. One more time. And yes, I got a message which states that yes, we have received your form for opening a Zerodha account. So just in case if you have applied for the commodity and F&O section also, we just need to repeat this entire e-sign process and then that would include. So who won finally? Was it Maggie or was it opening an account with Zerodha? Actually, I won this amazing experience of number one, completing my to-do task of opening the Zerodha account and enjoying hot Maggie in this awesome weather. But on a serious note, guys, opening an account with Zerodha is actually very easy. So you can immediately open your account with the link which is there in the description box. So don't forget to click on that link, follow the process which I have told you. I hope you have enjoyed my video. Let me enjoy my Maggie. Till then, Jai Hind and